Very warm welcome to everyone joining us today for Limitless Horizon 4.0 Phase 1 Webinar 1. We are delighted to have you with us for this insightful session on higher studies abroad. Now, let's officially start the event. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Limitless Horizon 4.0 Phase 1 Webinar 1. This program is designed to provide valuable insights into pursuing higher education abroad, covering opportunities, academic standards, and cultural differences. Limitless Horizon is a knowledge sharing initiative by Rotaract alumni, University of Moratuwa for Sri Lankan undergraduates and graduate students aspiring to study overseas. It connects them with accomplished individuals who share first-hand experiences and guidance on higher education abroad. Now, in its fourth edition, Limitless Horizon 4.0 Phase 1 Webinar 1 kicks off today. Phase 1 features 2 webinars led by distinguished academics who completed their postgraduate studies at prestigious foreign universities. This session will explore higher education opportunities, academic culture differences, and challenges in postgraduate studies abroad. We appreciate your participation and hope this session is both informative and inspiring. Moving forward, it is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker for today. Senior Lecturer Dilini Kulawansa, Department of Computational Mathematics, Faculty of Information Technology, University of Moratuwa. She will share valuable insights into higher education and career growth. Without further ado, let's welcome Senior Lecturer Dilini Kulawansa. Madam, session is over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm very much thankful to the Rotaract Club of University of Moratuwa for inviting me to conduct a session, and special thanks to my students, my final year student Jani Sandeepani Ranchalgoda for inviting me for this. She has like vaguely mentioned a topic like higher education and career pathways. So I thought of discussing about that as a person who has done higher education. To start with, actually, let me share a simple, interesting thing with you. Recently, about a week ago, one of my students, she's also a final year student actually. She came to talk to me about the final year project. Actually, she's the leader of the group. And then after the project discussion being held, and then we were just having a casual chat. And during the chat, she asked, Madam, what is meant by higher education, right? Is it the PhD or is it the master's? Is it the MPhil? So from that question, I realized that some of the students, especially the students, they have a little confusion about what is this higher education. Actually, if you go to the school, let's say after the O-levels, if you want to stop your education, you can stop. But if you think of going to the advanced level, if you have succeeded, satisfied the minimum requirements for the advanced level. So advanced level is also higher education, actually, some sort of higher education. Then after A-levels, being selected to a state university or going for higher studies in a private university, whatever. That is also, so your first degree, undergraduate degree, that is also higher education. And then after that, after the degree, let's say you want to do further studies, you want to keep on studying. So one step ahead, so that is so this entire process is called higher education. So actually higher education is an endless process. I consider it like that. right? Like until you die, like you can keep on studying, you can add new knowledge to you. Okay, right. So uh, that is what is meant by higher education. And then the thing is, like, you can keep on studying, but then you have to make living and you have to make money on living, right? So what are you going to do, right? After a certain amount of education, you can think of doing a job, right? You do a job for like two reasons. One is you want to earn money, right? And maybe you want to look after your parents, and maybe you have siblings to look after, and you have to, manage your expenses. So that's one thing. The other thing is you want to get some experience, right? Industry experience. So you have to work somewhere, and you have to check whether you can apply that you have collected a degree. So sometimes the students have this wrong myth that they think that, okay, after some time, I mean, I have heard this from students, like they are telling that, um, uh, I'm not using any of the knowledge that I have, like, got from my first degree when doing this job. You must have also heard students telling like that, not only students, even grown telling these things, right? So you can never expect your education, whatever the knowledge that you have got, to be used in 100% manner at your workplace. Okay, via the education you learn, good ethics, professional practices, right, and attitudes, right. So those things are also to be taken into account, right? Not only the paperwork, not only the subject content, right? Sometimes there is a mismatch between what you have learned and what you are doing, right? So you don't have to worry about it, and then it's not a reason to be stressed out thinking about it. So that's a very important thing that I want to mention to you before I start. So I thought of like you know dividing this section into four major parts, right? To talk about higher education and career pathways, I thought it's better to, break into four parts. The first one is start by exploring your interests and skills, right? So, exploring your interest. Sometimes, like when we have interest, you can of course say it, but some are like trying to like think and tell me like what are my interests, like it's because of you have not explored yourself properly. Before you explore the world, before you explore other things, the very first thing that you need to do is to explore yourself, right? Sit and think. What are your interests? What do you like? And what are your skills? Not only the interest, you got to have the skills. Maybe you have inborn talents. Sometimes you have a skill where you think it's better to improve that skill, right? Maybe you have that skill by nature, like let's say, if you're good at singing, if you're good at dancing, but you know that you can improve it, right? Okay, with lot of practices, right? Hard work, right? So this is the first step, right? You have to explore your interest and skills. Of course, in this situation, you can like talk to your parents. I mean, those are the first set of people that you have to talk to. Why? I'm sure that you don't remember what you did, what you were good at the age of 5 or 10. Like maybe after that you may remember, but then sometimes there are parents who say that, okay, do you remember that you were good at this particular thing when you were at the age of 3 and now we can't see you doing it anymore? It's always good to talk to your parents or the close ones if you have your elder brothers, elder sisters, and then to explore uh, what you did when you were small. Okay, that's one of the first things that you should do. And of course, then after that, right? After you are grown up, you know what you like and what are your skills. And then sometimes your close friends, they observe you better than you observe yourself, and they say, hey, I have realized that you are good at this, so take that into account. Okay, take it seriously. Maybe they see a particular skill in you that you have not come across by yourself. Okay. I'll be, of course, like talking about these things at length, but just to tell you like what these four sections are. The next one is researching potential career paths, right? Now, after the degree, okay, you're not going to wait until the degree is over to research about this thing. So this, when I was putting this word researching, like I had to think twice, because this is not this research that we do kind of like, it's about exploring, actually, finding the identifying, exploring, right? That's what I meant by researching potential career paths. So there are certain career paths available. There are certain career paths nowadays. You like, I know it, you know it. It's not a secret. Maybe it's a known secret that what has happened to the Sri Lankan job market, right? Especially to the field of IT. So most of the companies have frozen their, employments and then their positions. So, um, but still there are, right? I'll tell you how I do this. Actually, so I joined the faculty in the year 2008. So since then, it's been 16 years, 16 and a half years as of today. So, I started teaching students from batch 6 onwards. So they do have connections with me, continuous connections, right? Time to time, they come to meet me. Uh, so um, they share the news and all those details, important details at their workplaces with me, right? So I keep a record of that. Like, I'm not saying that I do type and I keep everything, but I do remember. So sometimes they say there is a particular issue in the company, or nowadays they're hiring and all that. So we get some information. So as soon as I get to know that, okay, they're hiring, what I do is that I ask from them, okay, what kind of jobs that you have, and what are the minimum educational qualifications that you are looking for. So let me know. Then, like, I pass that message. I pass all this information, facts to my students here at the faculty and in other places as well, not only like in our faculty, right? Then, by doing it, so because at times, like what I have realized is that there are vacancies, there are enough, career thing is you don't get that information properly. Or the moment you get it, like it's over. Or they have hired and then they have finished hiring. And then you feel really, terrible about it. So you have to like share this knowledge, right? And suppose that you get a piece of information about a particular vacancy, and then you are not interested about it. So maybe like you think that, okay, I'm not interested about that, so I'm not applying for it. But if you think further, and if somebody comes to your mind, okay, my this friend may like this, so let me pass this message to that friend, so that I'm not interested, so that at least that friend will be benefited from it. Like, okay, there's no guarantee that passing the information will secure the job, but at least that your friend can forward the CV, right? And then so it's like you have to help each other in a situation like this, when there is an economic crisis in the country. Actually, not only in Sri Lanka, there is a global crisis. We all know that, right? We are aware about it, right? Okay, my third section is about seeking mentorship and guidance from professionals in your field of interest. Actually, this is the reason I think I have been invited to talk to you all. So, um, mentoring. right? Like there are various words. Some say advising, some say mentoring, helping, whatever. So and guidance. So let me first tell you what this mentorship and guidance is about. It's not that suppose that there is a student who comes to you and he has no idea what to do, whether to go for higher studies or to go for, for a immediately after the graduation to, get into a job, right? So the thing is, you have to talk to the student, and then it's not the case that you tell the student or whoever comes to you. This is not only about lecturer student relationship. It could be two colleagues, two friends, right? One is senior, the other one is junior, or maybe siblings belongs to the same family. So when they come to you, like, it's not the case that you tell what they are supposed to do. It's not like that. You have to let the person to talk and ask from that person, okay, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? Where is your passion? Right? And what is your passion? Right? And do you have financial difficulties or not? If that is the case, it's better to go for a job. Still, can do other things. If you find a job where you have to work only 5 working days, and when you have Saturday and Sunday with you, then you can do some studies during that period, or you can do some, you can like work part-time and then earn some more money. There are various things that you can do. Okay. So this mentoring and guidance is like you talk to the person, list down all the opportunities that are coming from that person who's searching searching your guidance, and then finally you are like facilitating. So you become a facilitator. Now in this case, I'm a facilitator to help that person to, among so many options, right, to focus on one or two, or maybe one, the best one for that person, okay? The more suitable or the most appropriate option, right? So that is what is called the mentorship and guidance. And then number 4, develop is essential skills, right? This is very much needed because sometimes you think, okay, I have a degree from University of Moratuwa with a first class, so I know everything under the sun. No, it's not like that. You still have things to learn. You have to be a continuous learner, right? I'm telling you this thing with my experience, right? Time to time, I get myself registered to a degree and then I complete that. And again, I take a small break. Breaks are needed, of course. And then again, doing something, right? Just according to my life, right? So you can do the same thing, right? Don't take a huge gap between two educational qualifications. When it happens, sometimes like I can't deny the fact that sometimes like based on your family commitments, your other duties, responsibilities, it happens automatically. Then you cannot do anything. But uh, don't postpone it, like keep on postponing that, because I have seen it with my students, because I would like to share one of my experiences. There was a time I was teaching MSc in artificial intelligence degree students. That course is offered by, the postgraduate course is offered by our department. So I was continuously teaching those students, and those students were like, some of them were much older than me, right? And then I felt really sorry about them, because during the class also they tend to sleep, and then though they are physically, but they are not really communicating. And then I, like during the tea breaks, I get them to my office room and I ask from them, why, what's the problem? So they say that they have so many family commitments, so many duties, responsibilities, like their heads are full of things. And there is another very important thing which prevents them like they strongly believe the fact that they don't have that memory capacity that they used to have when they were young. Most of them have told me that thing. More than 90% of them, they're telling that, Madam, when we were young, now I'm at the age of 50, and when about 20 years ago, yes, I had very good memory, and whatever it was said in the lecture itself, like I could, catch up, and then now it's not the situation. Though I go through the note like 5 times, it doesn't, you know, go to my mind. And then when I try to remember so when I study one thing, and once it is completed, now second thing, the first one is gone already, like that. uh, that happens with the age, okay, but it doesn't happen with the age to everyone in this world. But then for most of the situations, your memory capacity is, kind of decaying. So uh, what I was trying to tell you is that it's always good to take a gap. You have to take a gap, right? I'll tell you in my upcoming slide, why do you need a break, a small gap, but then after that, restart again. Okay, so when you are in touch and then you still remember things, I mean, because like the gap is not much. So you still remember what you have learned for your first degree, you still remember what you have learned for the second degree. May not be 100%, but at least like 60%, 70%. Yeah. Yeah. So that will be a very big advantage for you. Otherwise, what happens is that maybe you start doing the postgraduate degree program with the greatest enthusiasm, and then after some time, your interest, like, just goes out. So maybe like you feel like, why did I get myself registered to this postgraduate degree? Right? It's utter waste of time, and I don't think I can do it. I think I made a wrong decision. I mean, you start blaming yourself, right? So don't do that. Right? I'll tell you how to overcome with it. Right. So these are the 4 things that I'm going to talk about. What I have mentioned. Actually, I have mentioned most of it. Like, so this start by, let's get back to the very first one. Start by exploring your interests and skills, right? So that is about self-assessment and exploration. Before you assess others, the very first thing that you got to do is to self yourself. Okay, right? Explore yourself. Right. So I have like prepared a few things. Like I have typed few things on this slide. The very first thing is identifying your interest and passions. Right. If you are an undergraduate, if you are still studying in a campus, in a state university or a private campus, right? There are 2 types of course modules. One set is compulsory, the other ones are elective. Compulsory, you have no choice, you got to do it, whether you like it or not. Let me talk about the elective course modules, right? And there's a drop period, right? I mean, they give few weeks, at least 2 weeks for you to attend lectures and then to decide, right? Okay. So the university administration is very fair on the students. So the problem that I see in this case is that sometimes the students do not attend the lectures during those 2 weeks, right? And they ask from a friend who had attended the lectures. And when the friend says, oh, yeah, yeah, it's good, like that, and then you go and get yourself registered, which is a very bad decision. Why? Maybe your friend finds it very interesting and good, right? That's his view on the course module, not your view. You have to attend and you have to decide because it's your decision. You have to take the decision in an independent manner without being dependent on others, right? So when selecting course modules, be very careful, right? I was told that there are few students, undergraduate students in this session. So um, you have to think several times about that. Like there is always a credit limitation, right? Suppose that there are, few course modules that you like, but you have to select, right? Uh, few from that few list. So select the ones that you like, where your passion lies, and where you have the ability to do. And if you have a plan to end up with a good grade, yes, select a subject in that manner. At the same time, not only don't run behind grades, but your interest, right? Especially what you are planning to do, what kind of a job that you are planning to do in the future. Will this knowledge help me to do my job? Maybe the course module is a little challenging. Maybe when you talk to the seniors, say, oh, yes, yes, we did it, but the results are not so good. Now, what happens? You feel like not getting yourself registered to that course module, right? Because the results were not so good, right? But if you strongly believe that this knowledge is needed for you, please do it, right? That's my advice. Okay, right. And then what activities do you engaging? Yeah, that's about your, one thing is about your, academic or the professional life. The other one is for your, personal life. So, whatever you do, like we all have 24 hours a day. And when you are an undergraduate student, sometimes you say like, I even don't have time to breathe. There are so many assignments, so many homeworks, like, but no one can study all 24 hours now, right? We study a certain amount of time, right? If you take 2 hour lectures, the maximum number of lectures per day is like 2 hours into 4, 8 hours, right? So the rest of the hours are for you to, restudy, to do homeworks, and then manage your personal life, right? Things like that. So uh, time management is also very important in this situation, right? The next one, assess your skills and strengths. This also that I have this, like I'm seeing this problem to a great extent among the university students, right? They do not know what they are naturally good at, right? Actually, they are good at so many things. Some they know, of course. Some they do not know. Maybe it's a hidden talent. That's why I told you, like at the very beginning of this session, you better talk to your parents. Better talk to your, elders at home, and they'll help you to find what you're naturally good at. And maybe it's hidden. Maybe you have not touched upon that for some time, so like it's suppressed, right? So better to take it out, right? And then the skills do you want to develop? Now, for an example, let me talk about the communication skills, right? Suppose you can manage the second language, English. You can manage, right? You understand what lecturers say, or uh, uh, if a person comes to talk to you in English, a local person talking to you in English or a foreigner talking to you in English, you understand what he says. Maybe not the accent that much, but you do understand. But the problem is now you're finding it little difficult to, respond, right? Back, right? In return. So you have difficulty, and then if you know where the difficulty is, because I have seen enough and more students, they come and tell me, ma'am, I know this subject, I'm good at this subject, but the problem is English. Where the problem is, right? You have to find the solution. You have been good like in finding where the problem is. Sometimes you even do not know where the problem is, right? In this situation, okay, you know where the problem is, fine, then find a solution for that, right? Without disturbing your regular academic activities, right? Maybe in the evening or during Saturday or Sunday, you can like take some English lessons and improve it. What I have observed from the university students mostly is that they are so good at spellings, they're so good at grammar, but the spoken is the problem. Okay, so this is mainly because of like you don't talk to each other English. No, so I'm not telling that from tomorrow onwards, like you talk to everyone in English. Like majority of the Sri Lankans speak Sinhala, so that in Sinhala. But the thing is, like, at least one or two students, like let's say a Sinhala student finding a Tamil student. That Tamil student can't speak Sinhala and you can't speak Tamil, so that you have to speak to each other in English, so that without putting a huge effort, right? Uh, you somehow talk to that person in English, and then in time to come, you improved, right? Actually, both the students, both of you are mutually benefited from that. That's what you have to do, right? And I had the same issue, like while I was like studying in Europe, under a full scholarship. So I have realized that my English was like had got improved quite a lot. And then after coming back, I was like thinking, now if we are not using it much, we use that of course during the lectures, because all the degrees are English medium degrees. So but out of the classroom, like, okay, in meetings at the University of Moratuwa, the meetings are held in English, yes, the medium of instructions given in English, but in other times, right? So you have to always create some room so that you practice English, because if you don't use it, right, you lose your uh, tone and, the accent and everything, right? So you have to be in touch with, right? Okay. Then so that's about communication skills. Not only that, um, recently also one student came and told me that he has a particular area that he would like to study, but then it's not in the syllabus, right? I said, okay, we can't teach everything under the sun, right? If it is not in the syllabus, you have to find a way to learn it, right? There are free courses available here and there, so that you can search for it and you can do it, and you can get a certification also. There are paid courses as well, right? So just like check whether it's in the syllabus. If it's not in the syllabus, if it's not in the curriculum, we find a place to do this. If you cannot find it by yourself, then you can talk to a professional, right? You can talk to a mentor, your academic advisor, right? And they'll help you to find where you can acquire that knowledge, right? Don't postpone it. The moment you get that feeling, okay, let me study this, right? You take actions and study it. Don't postpone it. Because in time to come, you may not have the same interest, like after a few weeks time or after a few months time, you feel like, okay, that's gone. Like I'm not interested in that anymore. Then the last one, consider your values and priorities, right? Under that, I'm talking about what kind of work environment and lifestyle do you prefer? Like so many students have spoken to me about this thing. Like some are fond of working from home, right? 100%. And then they say, it's quite easy. Transport, you don't have to spend money on transport. You don't have to spend money on clothing. And you can eat good food prepared by your mother when you're at home, and then like that. That's one category of people. The others, there's another category that they think, no, I think we have to go to the company. We have to, see what the environment is. We have to learn that. And this, because we all know that human beings are social beings, right? We need social interactions, right? When Jan was inviting me to do this session, I was asking from her, like, so is there a Zoom thing? And she said, yes, I said, okay, yeah. And actually she knows that I hate online lectures. I hate online sessions, right? Because I don't see the people, right? And then you can't keep the eye contact and the interaction is minimal, right? So, but sometimes, due to so many reasons, like you are left with no other choice than using these facilities, okay, right? So back to what we were talking about this work environment. You decide what is best for you, like, okay, staying 100% at home, and then or the hybrid mode, right? Is it the remote or the on-site or the hybrid mode, right? So yeah. And then lifestyle, and what kind of a lifestyle do you prefer? Like a simple lifestyle, or would you like to like go out with your friends, or are you a quiet person, like you would like to stay alone, and then things like that? You have to think, there are pros and cons in both these two. So the best thing is to have a balance between the two. You have to have some time for yourself as well, and at the same time you have to find some time for your parents, your friends, your siblings, right? You have to spend some time with you. People are talking about work related stress, right? It is there, right? And we have come across some, unfortunate incidents also, not being able to cope up with the work related stress and have decided to end their lives. So, uh, this work related stress is a huge problem. The best way to release this work related stress is, get along with friends and family, and chill out a little bit. Okay. The next, so that was mainly about the first session about the self-assessment and exploration. Okay. And then the second one, research and exploration of career paths. Okay. Right. Um, we have some participants here, like, if one of you can talk, can someone tell me, if you want to find a job, what would be your first thing to do? Like, there are various ways that you can find a job. Like, what would you do? Where do you look at? Yes, we have someone called Mihiri.
We can we
Just
can look at the, we can go to the LinkedIn
very good,
and
very good, very good. That's what I wanted. Okay, yes. Okay, you can go to the LinkedIn. Okay. Then Danushi? Hello? Okay, it seems she can't hear me. Jaini, can you hear me?
Yes, madam. You're audible.
Okay. Okay. Okay, maybe they are not responding. Okay. So LinkedIn is one of the best ways to find whether there are career paths. And some of them are like put in the details, we are hiring and all, and we have job opportunities, right? And there are various platforms, right? So sometimes you get this information from, like what I have told you, like as soon as I get this information, I transfer that to my students who are, like, I know the students these days, like uh, who are the students looking for jobs, right? So I have a list of that, and then I'm usually like, handling a list. So as soon as I get to know that, I transfer that information to them, because I have a job. I want them to have a job as well. So so you have to like help each other in it, right? So you have to like explore, like nobody's going to give you the job coming to your foot. Okay, so you have to like find it. And hope you have heard about job seekers and job creators, two cases. Like, so as soon as you get graduated, what you do is usually seeking a job, or maybe in level 4 semester 2, or maybe the day you get into level 4 semester 1, the final year, that was the time that you start looking for a job, right? So uh well, if you would like to take a risk, and then if you would like to start your own thing, maybe you can be a job creator, right? So if you have good set of friends, right, whom you consider as family, so that you can get together and you can start a small company, a startup, I mean, right? uh, and then you can slowly do this one while you are studying level 4, right? Whenever you have time, you can do some work, and after a year, after 2 semesters, you know whether it's going to work or not. If it's not going to work, okay, so just leave it aside, and then you go for seeking a job. If it works, yeah, you can take over that and go to the greatest heights. Actually, we have a lot of successful stories of that nature. Like in final year, students have started their startups in boarding places and in hostel rooms. We have heard enough of stories of that nature, right? So yeah, but it's not going to work for everyone. But then yeah, you have to work hard. Taking a risk is like to the maximum these days compared to those days. Like, so yeah. So with the economic crisis, the best thing would be like immediately after the graduation, like seek a job, and then which matches with your passion and interest and skills. And if the job needs more skills, then you develop the skills and you get into the job. And then while in the job, during the weekend, you can like improve yourself. Like you can improve communication skills, soft skills, and other knowledge. um, and then maybe while being in that job, like you can think of either higher studies or move to another better job. When I say better job, I'm not talking about better salary only. Okay, don't misunderstand that. People think that better job means better salary. It's just one aspect. I have few of my friends who left like huge salaries and got into uh, jobs with a lesser salary than what they used to get. But then their job satisfaction is very much high compared to that time, because those days they used to complain that we have like so much of work related stress. At times I feel like suiciding myself, or just not going to work, or maybe resigning, or just stepping down, right? But then when they get into the job that they like, when they can enjoy the job, they really don't care about the salary. Of course, you have to have a salary, right? But then the salary becomes a secondary thing. So the first priority, the job satisfaction becomes the first priority. Okay, right. So, okay. So under this section, research different career options. You have to check various industries, right? Job roles and educational pathways. Let me, Jayani, how much time do I have?
Madam,
Jayani.
you do have another 20 minutes.
Okay, okay, okay. No, I thought I have, I have already, almost exceeded the time. It's okay. 20 minutes is more than enough for me. I might be able to finish it before that. Right. So, back to this section of researching different career options, right? So you can check for industries and different job roles and educational pathways, right? So, let me explain this one a little bit more, right? Now, with a good example. Now, recently, two students came to meet me. Actually, they are still looking for industrial training placements and they have not got it. So I spoke to one of my senior students who's at a very high position at a reputed company. And then he said, yeah, ma'am, it's good that you spoke to me at this point. And we are looking for 2 to 3 persons for this particular job role, right? Actually, the job role, I can say it. I can't like really divulge the details of the students. Application support engineer. So I was thrilled to hear this news. Okay, so I immediately after the call, I asked that student to WhatsApp all the requirements that they're expecting for the applicant to have, and then I passed this message to my those two students and have asked them. So they were also happy initially, and so they updated their CVs. I was already one of the referees in that CV, and they had another referee. So I checked whether there are any mistakes in the CVs, and then after correcting the CV, two CVs, I have forwarded it. And they were in such a hurry to recruit, right? And with the promise of, with the successful completion of the industrial training, uh, there was a huge opportunity, huge chance for these two persons to be recruited on full time after completing the degree. That promise was also given, but they have to, like, of course, do a good piece of excellent piece of job in that. So so both the students were bright students actually. They did their second year project with me and got good results, and we even did a publication and all that. So then I had no hesitation in recommending them because they have worked with me, right? And here also, I need to tell you one thing. Like, since something came to my mind, sometimes you go to uh, academics and asking them to be your referee, right? And you have not done a single course module with that prospective person, or you have not done a project, at least a project or a research, and you just want that person to be one of your referees. Actually, this had happened to me like so many times, and then I kindly tell the student, Puta, you have not done anything with me, so how can I, be your referee? Okay, you have not studied under me, not yet, and you have not done a project, you have done public. How can I like recommend you? I know nothing about you, right? So the advice that I want to give you is, when selecting who are to be your referees. You have to have two referees when applying a job in the industry. And for the higher studies, in some countries like USA, they need three referees. In Europe, two. It's like that. You have to select these two, no, out of many academics. So please select the persons where you have good cordial relationship with, and where you have done at least one or two course modules with them, and who has supervised one of your projects, right? And the moment they hear your name with your surname or without your surname or with, they have to remember you, and you have to select that type of a person as one of your referees. Okay, right. So back to what I was like telling you. So then they were happy, and then that student was very thankful to me from the industry for act on upon this quickly. And then they in less than 48 hours time, I do remember that he returned the call and he said, ma'am, everything is ready, we decided to interview them. It's a formal interview, right? Because without an interview we can't take them, so ask them to get ready. So I passed this good message, this happy news to them. And then now they are telling they have got some kind of, information from here and there. This is what is happening to students sometimes. You get good advices, bad advices at the same time. And then you are confused, maybe. Maybe you, without knowing, you select the bad advice, leave in the good advice, and you pay a price at the end of the day. Don't do that. Okay. So I like, they did not tell me who was that, but then they both of them were telling me that, ma'am, if you get into this job, this particular job role, so at the time after completing the degree, at the time when we want to go and join the industry, we won't be able to work as a software engineer, because this one is not SC, right? This is something else, right? So I realized that they have second thoughts now. Everything had been arranged by that time, and that my student, the senior student from the industry, actually he's holding a huge very rank position also. He already spoken to them over the phone to get their consent, because I have been an intermediator, so directly spoken to them, and they have like nicely spoken to him and have given their consent. Okay, we would like to join. But after that, this decision had been reversed. So actually, I was a little upset about this thing, right? Because and then I was like, okay, fine. But then I was like, At first, I was little upset, but then after that, I thought, okay, if they have second thoughts, what to do now? So even after attending the interview, they were like planning to say no, and after being selected, also, okay, we are not coming. And then they are putting their effort, the time, and everything in arranging an interview, right? They're so busy people. So I had to give them a call and then say that now these two are having this kind of second thoughts. So this the interviews were not held, right? And uh, to tell you, they are yet to get. So this incident happened about 1 month back, and they are yet to find a suitable industrial training placement. So they lost that. It was not a small opportunity. Actually, it was a huge opportunity for them to complete their industrial training plus to find their future job as well, right? Uh, Not until your retirement, but at least for some time to do a job so that that, I mean, you need the job security, whether you are a man or a woman, right? During this period, like you cannot be survived without a job, right? So unless you have, very good financial backing. So uh, listening to people, like you got to be very, very careful, because I'm pretty sure that this advice had been given by someone who's at their age, right? So talk to some professionals, talk to the people who are older than you, who have been in the industry for some time, and then who have that knowledge and who are good at giving you advices and guidance. And because some advices and some guidance can ruin your life, like can be disastrous. So you got to be very careful in that. Right. Um, then research the job market trends and demand for different professions. Yeah. Now, sometimes, like if you're a medical student, of course, you don't have to look for this one, like the job is obvious. So, but there are certain demands. Now, the same example that I'm like talking to you about, like there was a huge demand towards that new job role, right? Okay, so that they don't have very many who are in the system already, so they are recruiting quite a lot, right? So there are different professions, newly generated professions. You have to look for it. Otherwise, you always think about the same set of job roles, right? And those who are in the job role, like until their retirement, like they are there, right? Unless they step down or unless they resign or due to some reason. Right. Then talking about these explorative educational pathways, like um, here I want to give you a very good advice, very important advice. After your first degree, some students, they immediately start their second degree. The thing is, like, I can't say no to this, but it's always good that you give some time to check whether you can apply the knowledge that you have gained from your first degree. How can I apply that knowledge? Right? Give a try. And to tell you, when applying for scholarships, when I was applying for my first scholarship, right? I soon after the first degree, I also wanted to leave. And when I was applying for the for this Fulbright scholarship, then I realized that there's 1 year experience as a lecturer, right? So I joined one of the leading universities as a temporary lecturer, actually, not even a permanent position, because they did not have permanent vacancies. And then so these scholarship people, like, they don't really care whether your position is temporary or on contract or whatever. So I joined as a lecturer on contract, and then worked for some time, and then I got a service certificate. I sent that service certificate because they wanted to check, okay, they wanted to check that passion in you, like, okay, this person has a passion, and to teach the university students, and that's why she's looking for a scholarship, and that's why she wants her master's to be done under a full scholarship and coming from a third world developing country, right? Even in the industry, it's like that, right? Suppose that your first degree is IT or IT and management or computer science or data science or whatever. It's always good to apply that knowledge that you have got from your first degree, right? And in the industry, and then you can see whether there's a knowledge gap also, whether there are certain areas where you have to develop, right? And you can learn a lot from working with colleagues, right? In that working environment, you can learn a lot, and then you are more powerful. Like in the university, you get the theoretical knowledge, more theoretical knowledge than the practical knowledge. Here, you get the hands-on experience. So it's a nice mixture, you have the theoretical knowledge plus the hands-on experience. Now you can apply for higher studies. So especially in the field of IT and all those areas, like they really don't care whether you are in a university as a university lecturer. If you are a software engineer or a business analysis or a QA or whatever, if you have some experience, they know that okay, you have, right, some experience to a certain extent about the latest technologies, right? So they will prefer to take you, right? So it's always good to take a small gap. But as I've told you before, at the very beginning of this session, don't make the gap too low, too low. Okay? In time to come, you lose the interest also. Right. So sometimes like you like to do like with your family commitments and all that, you don't want to travel, right? And you don't want to participate lectures on physical mode. So you are looking for online MSCs, right? I usually don't recommend that, but then if you don't have it, like if you are left with no other choice, then like something is better than nothing, so you can do that. But then again, like you can work with them, you can do group studies, like that. It's good, like you can share the knowledge. And especially at that moment, not as an undergraduate. When you're undergraduate, you are very young and your brain cells are really good and then your memory capacity is very high. But then when you get older, so it's always good to have like a few other friends with you following MSc, and then you can do group studies. Uh, Number 3, seek guidance and mentorship. I have already mentioned about this. Connect with professionals in your field of interest. I'm asking you to attend workshops. Whenever there is a workshop, please attend. You get emails like that, okay? And don't just, let it go. When there is a career fair, please attend to it, right? uh, I know that like when there is a career fair, you think that now there is a problem in the country, so I'm not going to get. I am anyway not going to get it. Who knows? You can't predict like that. You have to go and do and see. You might not get it. That's a different story, but you have to try it. Okay. So you have to get this mentorship from experienced professionals, ask advice and guidance from people who are working in the careers you are interested in. Now, for an example, I'm getting so many students coming to me with the hope of becoming lecturers in the future. They have this thing in their mind. So when they come to me, like I can, give them the best, like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, this is the best option for you. Okay. Right. And I don't know, now we have some University of Toronto students here. Are you guys aware? Jaini, are you aware that there is a career guidance unit at the university?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
In
You
our
are.
orientation, I think we've informed that.
Okay. That's good. That's good. But do you know that many students know about it? They are not aware that there's a career guidance unit. When I ask, okay, where is the place? They even do not know that, right? You all know where the driver's room is. Right opposite to that, you have a career guidance unit. You can go and talk to them. There are good career guidance counselors there, right? And then you can, like, they'll ask you, okay, what are your interests? What are your skills? What are you good at, right? And what would you like to do in the future, right? Then they can drive you through that. Okay. To have some career plans. Okay. The last one is develop essential skills. I have already spoken to you about this thing, right? And don't think that you know everything under the sun. You may be having a first class, maybe the best top. That doesn't matter. You still have certain amount of skills to develop. I'm a strong believer of that, right? At whatever the age, you have to be a continuous learner. Okay, so you got to have good communication, and you should be very good at teamwork. Like, you have to know how to work in a team without getting into problems, right? Without verbal problems, fights and all that. Okay. And how to do the time management. This is like, usually the Sri Lankans are very bad at this time management. They promise and then they never deliver on that time, and then they need extensions, deadline extensions and all that. These things are very famous among the students, so I don't want to talk about these things because you are very much into it. So then gain practical experience. This is what I was telling you, because during the undergraduate period, you get this knowledge via course modules, right? Through course modules, and you have labs, you have tutorial classes. I don't deny that, but you have to expand this practical knowledge. Like, you receive a certain amount of practical knowledge, but you have to improve, expand that by yourself, because the university can't give you everything. They would be happy to give you everything, but because of the timetables, the academic calendar, the limitations, the constraints, there are certain limitations we have, right? Okay, then about part-time jobs. As long as your, academic work is not disturbed, you can go do a part-time job, and you can earn certain amount of money, and you can, without, bothering your parents and your elder brother and your elder sister, you can manage your expenses, right? And you get some kind of a job satisfaction. Not only that, that was the time you learn how difficult is it to earn, and how can you safely spend this money, right? Whatever that you are supposed to spend, you have to spend, but then how to do it in a proper manner, you learn at a young age. Okay. Then you got to be updated on industry trends. What are the example that I've told you, like recently now there is a trend, like a new job pathway had been created as application support engineer. It's a very new one, right? They are taking large number of, recruiting large number for those jobs, so that, um, right. So you have to look for all those, new, the industry trends. And suppose that there's a particular job role, and maybe you don't have that skill, but you like to do it. You would like to try. So develop the skill, right? And you got to stay competitive in the job market, right? When you attend an interview, when they ask questions, they ask subject matter questions, not technical questions. So you should be able to answer the questions, right? There is a word that I have, mentioned several times during my session. It's about passion. Passion. You have to go follow your passion, actually, right? Okay, maybe what you are doing is today is what your parents have asked you to do, but for second degree, go by the passion. Select the second degree content does not have to be matched with the first degree content. There's no rule as such, right? If you have a huge passion towards something completely different to your first degree, please do it, right? So hope you know this famous TV producer and the announcer from US, Oprah Winfrey. Right? She has once said, this is a very famous quote by her: "Follow your passion; it will lead you to your purpose." Right? You always have to follow your passion. Not the passion which has been said by other people. Your passion, right? What do you like to do? address that. Okay. Right. So with that, I'm finishing my session. I have few more things to say, but I thought the time would be more than that. But I have a couple of other things to say, but I don't have time. So if there are questions, I would be happy to answer.
Narmadi, I think we received like some questions, but I think
Okay.
it would be better we can just ask like 1 to 2
Yeah,
main
yeah.
questions from them. Yeah.
Yes, yes, you can ask.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Madam,
Yes.
what are the key factors to consider when selecting a university for postgraduate studies abroad?
Abroad. Abroad. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Key factors. Yeah. The first you think about what I have just mentioned, right? What is the area of the second degree that you want to do? MSc in what? Okay. Because these the universities at abroad, like there are certain universities like they are like our faculties like dedicated to a particular area. The entire university is dedicated to a particular subject area. Okay. So you can type like in the Google MSc in data science or MSc in whatever, and then after that whether it's under a full scholarship or not, another keyword that you have to type. Like if you want to do under a full scholarship, you have to say, okay, full scholarship, right? You have to give some certain keys so that the Google search can find you the list from top to bottom. And the other thing is, if there is a particular country that you would like to go, right? There are certain countries that we don't like to go, no? Like that, there are certain countries that you'd like to go. So, where would you like to study? It's your interest, not interest like my mango friend is there, so let me go there. Like sometimes students do that, but it's okay still. So that, but you like when you go there, you can make new friends also, right? It's always good to have someone who's known to you, so that you will not feel alone. But the main thing is the subject area that you want to do your higher studies. That is the main thing that you have to check, right? You don't have to check their faculty name, the department name, the university name like that. Some students, they check the university ranking also. Yeah, you can do that as the second thing. First thing is, okay, you decide, right, what is the MSc or the MPhil that you would like to do, right? And then after that, you can check the other things. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, madam. Someone has asked. I think he has got the answer.
Okay.
The question also.
Hello? Hello? All of a sudden, I can't hear.
Madam,
Yes,
am I
I'm here.
audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay. Madam, someone asked another question too. Uh, how do academic expectations and teaching styles differ between Sri Lanka and foreign universities?
Academic and what? Ac
How do academic expectations and teaching styles differ between Sri Lanka and
Teaching styles
foreign
are
universities?
different. Yes, yes, teaching styles are different. Yes, yeah, they are different. Like, if I use the word spoon feeding, right, at the school, like you are very much into that, and when you get into the university, you expect the lecturers to give notes. Of course, I also give notes. It's not because of the students are expecting me to give notes. I think it's better to give a note, and that's why I'm giving a note. But in those foreign universities, they don't give you notes, okay? You have to like, they just, do the lecture based on several slides, and then you have to like do self-studying a lot. They expect the student to do a lot of self-study, right? Here, the students think that the teacher or the university lecturer has to teach everything, and then the self-studying is like not much. Though we are saying self-study, what they are doing as self-studying in the Sri Lankan context is studying exactly the same materials that have been given by the lecturer. But there at the foreign university, self-studying is like they give you a book, okay, for the reference, and they say, okay, go and read this chapter, okay, and they give you a link, read this. They can give you certain guidelines, or sometimes they don't even give those guidelines. They say, okay, you read this like in the syllabus they leave a one particular, like that happened to me when I was studying in Europe, a particular section is being left, like for the students to study and get ready for the exam. No lectures being conducted for that particular chapter within that course. Everything else is being taught in the class, but only for that. So the teaching styles are different. Student expectations are also different. What the students expect from the lecturers are different. What the lecturers expecting from students are also different in the Sri Lankan context. When you go abroad, you will see what this difference that I have experienced. And that is exactly that I'm telling. If you do your first degree here, if it is possible to get a full scholarship, go and take it and go abroad and do your higher studies. Don't do your second degree and the third degree here. That is what is called inbreeding. That's what I want. That's what I could not say during my session because I did not have time. Sometimes you do your master's at the same department where you got your first degree, which is not at all recommended. We don't recommend that, right? Not from the same department, not from the same faculty, not from the same university. Go somewhere else and do it, right? You can't be a frog in the well. You need a good, exposure, right? The best exposure is go to a foreign country, right? You can learn lots of things, especially you end up with a very responsible human being with good attitudes, right? So I always recommend my students, if you don't have huge family commitments, like if you can manage it with your other siblings, at least for some time, go abroad, right? Uh, Coming back or not is your decision, but go and do your second degree and the third degree somewhere else, not here. Okay, I hope I answered that question as well.
Sure, madam.
Anything
Thank
else?
you.
Anything else?
One more question is there, madam.
Yeah, it's okay. Ask.
What are some emerging fields of study that offer promising career prospects for international students?
That depends. Like, I can't just list down, like, these are the things, like, there is no fixed list, the list as such. Okay. There are jobs everywhere, right? Especially in now, there is a problem in the country. It's true. There are problems in other countries as well, but these days, I can't, since it's a public lecture, like I can't really mention the names of the countries, but if that person wants to, like, contact me directly, my contact numbers are there, so you can contact. And then there are certain countries where now these days they are hiring, um, uh, people from Sri Lanka, from Asian countries, for particular job roles. So just because of, if I have understood that question properly, thinking about the job, then to decide what kind of a master that I would be doing is not a very good decision. You do the second degree or the third degree according to your passion. What would you like to learn? What would you like to add more knowledge, like in area where your passion lies? Then after that, you can, definitely you can find, right? Maybe the job is a rare job, right? Maybe not that common, right? If it is a common job, then there is a huge competition. If the job is not common, then there is no competition as such. Maybe a competition, but not much. So, yes, I can't just exactly tell this is the thing as the answer to that question, right? And so, thinking about the job, and then that's what I'm telling. Like, after the first degree, do a job. Then you will understand this one better, like without asking from anyone within that company also, like what is lacking of. And you can understand in that company, there is nobody who has this knowledge, who has the knowledge in this particular area. So let me do that, right? Like that, that's how you have to decide. And you have to like it also. You have to have a passion towards it also. Otherwise, there's no point. So, yeah.
Yeah, madam,
Um,
thank you.
yeah.
And thank you so much for your insightful session, madam.
Okay, you're most welcome.
So
I
thank
think,
you.
yeah.
Ah, okay. I'll stop sharing. Okay.
Thank you all for engaging questions. And we appreciate our speaker for Madam Dilini Kulawansa for insightful answers. And then to express our gratitude, we would like to present a token of appreciation to our keynote speaker, Senior Lecturer Dilini Kulawansa, Department of Computational Mathematics, Faculty of Information Technology, University of Moratuwa. Please accept our token of appreciation that we have prepared for your valuable cooperation with us today. Thank you once again for your time and invaluable insights.
Okay. Thanks for this token of appreciation. And thank you, Jayani, for inviting me for this. Right. And special thanks to the Rotaract Club of University of Moratuwa. And if the students need, I think most of them are students. If they need more, guidance, I would be happy to, help them so that they can always come and meet me, or they can contact me via WhatsApp, or like we can physically meet face to face, or yeah, any media. Yes.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
We'll we'll ready to take the group photo. Let's all turn our cameras and set the background image we shared in the group. Once you are ready, we'll take the group photo. Can you all switch on your cameras? As we come to the end of this insightful session, I would like to invite Jaini Ranchagoda, co-chair of Limitless Horizon 4.0, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Narmadi. So, actually, today we have done the Limitless Horizon 4.0 Phase 1 very first webinar. So I think we've successfully concluded this because now we have like more than 2K live streaming participants with our YouTube channel of Rotaract Alumni of University of Moratuwa. It's really happy to share that fact with you all as well. And we will also uploaded this to our official YouTube channel for our participants request, because they really need to listen to these after the session as well, and they requested us this for sharing with their friends and university groups and so on. So this thing actually would be a very good step in this project, and we are not limited for this phase as well. We do have phase 2 and phase 3. So actually, I would like to really thank our keynote speaker today, Senior Lecturer Dilini Kulawansa, the Department of Computational Mathematics of University of Moratuwa. I think she had done a great session for us. Even I didn't know some points that she until she mentioned. So thank you so much, madam, for your insightful and very clear and precise session in this limited time. And we really appreciate your valuable time and cooperation with us today. And also, I would like to thank the president and all the directors of the Rotaract Alumni of University of Moratuwa, and also the organizing committee, especially my co-chair Hirishi Premaratna, and the webmaster and our cute moderator today, Narmadi Gunatilaka. And for all the participants who are with us in Zoom and all the participants who are watching our live streaming at our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. So we really appreciate your valuable incorporation with us. So we would like to invite you all to just hang with us for our future events as well, because we will conduct our phase 1 second webinar in upcoming week, same day. That means 7th of April 2025 in the same time duration. So you guys can also join us via Zoom and via the live streaming in our official YouTube channel. So, and also we will share our insights with phase 2 and phase 3 as well. Phase 3 really would be a physical session in University of Moratuwa with 2 to 3 foreign consultation agencies. So you can have a great idea on your high studies planning abroad. So we just invite you all to hand with us for these future series as well. So again, thank you so much, you all who incorporated with us to make this event a very successful one. Yeah, so thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you, Ms. Jani, for those kind words. We have come to the closure of our today's webinar. And with that, we officially conclude Limitless Horizon 4.0 Phase 1 Webinar 1. A heartfelt thank you to all. We hope this session has been valuable for you. As a reminder, Webinar 2 of Phase 1 will be held online on 7th of April from 7 p.m. It will be presented by Professor Gihan Jayas from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Faculty of Engineering of University of Moratuwa. We look forward to seeing you there for more valuable insights into pursuing higher education. This is the end of Limitless Horizon 4.0 Phase 1 Webinar 1 presented by Road Alumni, University of Moratuwa. I'm the moderator of this webinar, Narumadi Gunatilaka. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.